What's guys, and welcome back to Carp Bites. You find me on Watergate farm fishery. I'm down for the night. Got 36 hours on here, so today, tonight and tomorrow. Pack up tomorrow evening. And as you can see, I'm in the same swim as I was in last time. It was lucky for me then. I've seen some fizzing going on. I've not seen many fish in the area. I've seen some fish just outside this little bay, very close, and a fish towards the island to the left, which I could cast to if I wanted to, but I'm concentrating on the opposite bank and down the right where the fish before. So I've got the Odyssey XXX combined with live system, and I've crumbed it right up, put some powders in with it and some liquid. I put the green lip mussel compound over the top. They're both coated in the same stuff, so green lip mussel compound, then the liquids. It's all crushed up, so it's little bits and pieces. I'm not fishing old boilies. I've been around the other side and scooped a few scoops out in the vicinity of the left hand rod, likewise on the right hand rod, but I've only put two or three scoops on the right hand rod, very small amount of bait down there. There's some fizzing going on not far away. I can't see the fish, but there is some fizzing, so I don't want to disturb them too much, and I've just sprinkled out a little bit of this crumbed up mixture, and that's it. So I'm all set up. Now it's a case of sitting and waiting and see what happens. In the meantime, I'll have a cup of tea and I will tie some fresh rigs up so the points are super sharp, straight out the packet, sharp hooks. The ones I've got on are left over from my last session. I have given them a bit of a sharpen up with the stone, and they are, catching on the now, but I always wonder how long they're going to stay sharp in the water, because they tend to go quite rusty quite quick, especially in this lake for some reason, if you've sharpened them. The weather forecast is going to be nice, sunny, cloudy. There's a fresh breeze coming straight towards me on this session. Last time it's coming from behind, but it's coming straight into the bivvy. So the wind's blowing down in the bay. I've seen the aerator's been removed from the bay. The ropes are still there, but the aerator's on the bank at the moment. I was speaking to Charlie recently and he said the oxygen levels are really good at the moment, so that's probably why he's done that. The rigs I'm using, straightforward blowback rigs using the silicone tubing on the hook and the kicker with the shrink tubing. You've seen it all before if you watched my videos. Very simple. Left hand rod, I've got a Wafter XXX that's been soaking in the green lip mussel compound, and on the right hand rod I've got a trimmed down Carp pop-up on the hook, and it's sitting Wafter style, so the bait is just sitting above the hook and the hook's laying on the deck. And to obtain that, I'll just put the boilie on and just trim off around the edges until you get a nice cylinder shape. Test it in the water bucket, and yeah, it's sitting lovely. So that's sitting there with a PVA mesh bag on each rod with the crumb mixture inside as well. So time will tell if it works, but nonetheless, beautiful day. I'm going to enjoy myself, and I'll catch you in a bit. One of the things I'm doing when I fish this lake is keep the rods right back. So I literally got just the tip of the rods overhanging the water. Now, whether it makes a difference or not, I don't know. But I think if you've got the rods, the buzzers here, and half the rods sticking out of the lake, any fish swimming in the margins, that's a sure sign to them that you've got someone fishing there. I've also got, for the right hand rod, just down the margin down here, back lead right down in the bottom there, just out from the bank, and the left hand rod where it's going across, I've snid the back lead down slightly so it's going at more of an angle, just to improve sensitivity really. Any fish swimming through hopefully won't get too spooked by the rods or the lines. That's the theory. And having the rods that bit further back means I haven't got to run all the way down the front of the swim to pick the rod up if one goes. I'm literally a couple of steps from my bed chair to the rods, and I'm on them. So especially in these sort of snaggy situations, you don't want to give the fish too much line. I've got a set of pads in front of me. I've got a fallen tree over the other side, got rushes all down this edge, so you give them too much line and yeah, they find some sanctuary. I've got the rods locked up pretty tight. They can take line just, that's just more than anything to stop the whole lot going in. And what I do when I'm fishing so tight is I get the legs for the rod pod and push them into the ground as far as I can, just to make it as stable as possible, so that if the fish pulls to the right, it's not going to tip the whole pod over. So yeah, it's a pretty solid setup. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Another thing I do is on my rods, I put a cable tie around the rod at the same position on each one, and what I do in the butt grip, just make sure the tag end of the cable tie sits behind the rest, and then no matter how hard you pull that rod, that is not going anywhere at all, but you can lift it straight out, no problem. So it's just standard cable tie, put it on, just trim it off flush, and yeah, that's locked in like so. Okay guys, so I've just reeled in my left hand rod. This is the rig that was on there, pretty basic stuff. It's about a 12-inch hook length with a Odyssey XXX wafter that's been soaking in the GLM compound. They smell really good. So yeah, so that's what's on the left hand rod. I've walked over, put a couple of scoopfuls of this crumb over the rig where it was cast, and yeah, on the hook I've got the mesh bag filled with the same contents as the crumb there. So, and then when I cast out, just put a bit of the old rig foam on, bit of the rig foam on the hook, just to help the whole lot not sink into the silt. I've upped the size of the lead. Helicopter. I've upped the size of the lead from 1.5 ounce to 2 ounces because I've had a few indications and I'm worried I might be getting done. So yeah, I've upped the size of the lead. It's a balancing act between sinking in the silt and hooking the fish. But yeah, I've got a super sharp hook out on there, 2 ounce lead in the silt. Hopefully that would do the job. So that's the left hand rod. Right hand rod, exactly the same principle, except for on there I'm using trim down Carp freaks. I'm basically just putting the boilie on and trimming off the edges with a pair of scissors. So once it's on the hair, just trim it off with a pair of scissors, get a nice thin cylinder. So it goes out with one of the mesh bags and a couple of handfuls or scoopfuls of the crumb mix over the rig where it's landed. Okay, so I'm just going to crumb up a few more boilies using the crusher. And some case of there we go. And there's the crumb mixture. I'll just top that up. Some of the crumbs out. So we've got some more crumb ready for either the PVA bags or for scooping out where the rig's cast. There's very fine crumb with chunks of boilie in. Like I say, I've got the Odyssey XXX in there, and I've got some live system, and that's been soaking in the green lip mussel compound. Good evening, guys. It's coming up to 20 to 8 in the evening, and lake's gone flat calm. It's like a mill pond out there. I've just had a knock on the right hand rod, one down in the margin down here. I thought it was going to go, but it didn't. But anyway, rods are obviously out for the night now. It's a beautiful evening. I've just had my tea, ham and mushroom tagliatelle. Very nice it was too. So I'm just going to crack open a cider and enjoy the sunset. But yeah, it's a beautiful evening. There's some fish showing right down in the bay to the right, near where the aerator normally sits. So there's fish in the area, and obviously that's something that hit the line or picked up the rig on the right hand rod. So they're in the area. Case of sitting and waiting, see what gives. Watch your folks. So, not too short the time is. Feels probably about 8:30, maybe a bit later. And right hand rod went off against the far bank. Resulted in this lovely little 14.5 common. Gave a merry run around through the pads. Don't want to be picked up just yet. Let's try again. And there he is, 14.5 Watergate farm common. It's got quite a funny sort of snub shaped head, if you'd call it that, but pretty fish and very welcome. So it's been a long day waiting for a bite, and eventually this one comes along. Like I say, left hand rod, the Odyssey XXX wafter, and yeah, going to get her back and get the rod back out. See you in a minute. Okay guys, it's just gone 11 o'clock and I've just lost one. Left hand rod again, over towards the opposite bank, and yeah, rod went, picked it up, fish on, going into the pads. I walked backwards with a tight line. I could feel it in the pads. Carried on walking backwards with a nice tight line. Felt it giving a bit, and then the line just parted. So parted just above the. It parted just above the leg clip, because I've still got the tubing on the line. So yeah, it's a fish swim round there with a hook length in, and that's about it. But a bit of a gutter. That was on 18-pound line, and I was surprised how easy that cut through. So I've just changed the spool over to a 23-pound line. If I get another chance, hopefully I can get that one in. Let's see if I get another chance. But anyway, until then, I'll put the rod back out in the dark, obviously, and hopefully it's in the right spot. Went down with a splash, so I didn't hit any branches or anything. And yeah, fingers crossed it's in a good spot. But yeah, Rod's back out, all set on the alarms, and oh well. Anyway, I'm going to jump back in the bag. Hopefully I'll see you in the darkness holding the fish. Otherwise I'll see you in the morning. Good night, guys. Good morning, everybody. Absolutely stunning morning. I was up about 5 o'clock and I took some pictures of the sunrise. It was absolutely spectacular. One of those mornings that makes you happy to be a carp angler, so you can witness these things. But yeah, absolutely stunning. I did recast the rod that I lost the fish on last night, so I wasn't entirely sure where that landed in the dark. So I put that back out, fresh bait, fresh PVA mesh bag. Went sweet, just absolutely perfect, just where I wanted it to be, really. And yeah, so that's out there now until that goes, hopefully. Yeah, still a bit of a stinger, that one last night, losing that one. And as always, it felt like a good fish, but yeah, always do, don't they? I'm not touching the rods now until anything happens. If I get any indications or anything that makes me feel like I need to recast, I will. But until then, those rods are out there. If I start getting any twitches on either rod, but it's not producing, I may recast. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm going to have a cup of tea and yeah, just sit and enjoy the scenery, because it is, like I say, absolutely glorious. Catch you in a bit. Okay guys,
Yep.
so there I was sitting there and I just saw the bobbin twitch before the alarm actually made a noise, and I was watching the bobbin and it's switching away, then it went up about ½ inch and the bobbin started going, then it went up, then it went down, and I'm thinking, is that a liner or what? A couple of twitches, then it went up, so I thought I'm hitting that. And this lovely, if he's going to behave, £20, he's not behaving, £20, he's really not behaving, I think he's tiring though. This lovely, he says, come on. This lovely £20 on the nose Watergate common on the left hand rod on the triple X boilie over to the far margin there. Happy days. Makes the one I lost last night a little bit more bearable. So what a lovely fish. There you go. Yep, I'll quickly show you the other side if he's going to behave. He may not. Gorgeous fish, immaculate condition. Come on. And there you go, there's the other side. Oh, nearly top heavy. Happy days. Perfect, cheers mate. Right, let's get her back. What a stonking fish. Okay guys, it's just coming up to 11 o'clock. That 20-pounder took the bait at about 10 o'clock, which coincidentally is pretty much the same time as I had that last fish on the last session. I had that with minutes to spare before I had to leave at 10 o'clock. The reason I don't have to leave at 10 o'clock today is because I've extended the ticket for a day session as well, so I don't need to leave till this evening, but I'll probably leave before then. So since having the fish, I put a fresh rig on, another mesh bag, back out, exactly the same spot. It took me 2 casts. First cast, I was like, I'm in an hour in, I thought, shall I, shall I? And I thought, no, bring it in, I weren't happy. Second cast was perfect. I think it's pretty much exactly the same spot that last fish took. You couldn't put it there better by hand really. So yeah, now it's a case of seeing if we get another chance. I'm not holding out much hope because it's quite warm and muggy. We've got a bit of cloud cover today. Well, so far this morning we have anyway. But it's quite warm. But we'll see what gives. I've not seen much signs of fish. I've seen some fish showing on the end of the pads, the other side of the pads to where I'm fishing. But that's promising. And before I put the bait back out, I walked round and quickly put a scoop of, well, a couple of scoops of the crumb mix out there again, just in case there's any fish out there, just to keep them rooting around. So I've had 3 bites off that spot now, so I'm pretty certain that all of the stuff I put in there, even though it's small bits, chances are that most of it is gone. So yeah, I've just topped that up and then stuck the bait on it. So see what gives. But whatever happens now, I'm happy. It's a very nice fish, that, and it did take the sting off the one I lost last night. So to have a couple of fish on an overnight session, I'm pretty happy with that. The right hand rod, I did cast it out again earlier. I put a life system boilie, but I chopped it down in half and put half a Mark Pictures Carp Freaks pop-up on the top, so it's wafting down nicely. Mesh bag again, back down the margin. It's funny, I haven't had a touch on that really. I've had a few knocks and possible liners, but nothing I could say was a bite. But this carp fishing game can get you down sometimes. Sit there pulling your hair out thinking, what have I got to do? Feeling like you're going to go home with your tail between your legs, and then bang, one of the rods is away out of nowhere, and yeah, it changes your mindset completely. I must say, having 3 fish off that spot over there, I'm very confident, and I do feel like it may go again. But I really want this right hand rod to go now, as funny as it seems. But let's see what happens. Having witnessed the bite of that 20 pounder, like I say, I was watching the bobbin and it was just twitching like that. The buzzer wasn't even sounding, but the bobbin was just twitching. Then it went up a little bit, the buzzer sounded, hovered over the rod, dropped back down, twitched again, and it started going up. I may even have it on film. So I'm pretty confident that these knocks and twitches I've been getting are fish getting away with it, shaking the hook out, using the lead, and all you're getting is a quick tap on the bobbins, a couple of bleeps on the buzzer, and then they're off. So yeah, just something to bear in mind. If I keep getting that more frequently, I may have to think about my rigs. Okay guys, it's just coming up to 4 o'clock, and as you probably realise, nothing's happened on the rods. I've been sitting there waiting and hoping that one of them would go off. It hasn't, but hey, that's fishing. Anyway, I'm slowly packing my stuff away. The swim's a bit of a mess, got bags everywhere, bits and pieces everywhere, so I'm going to start tidying it all away. Obviously I'll leave the rods till last, because that's what happened last time when I had that fish. But yeah, it's been a warm day. It's been cloudy for the best part, but very muggy, and the sun's been coming out in the last hour or so, and the breeze is picking up as well, as you can see behind me with a little bit of chop on the water. Fish wise, I've seen a couple of fish show in the pads behind me, but yeah, not a lot happening really. So like I say, I'm going to call it a day soon. I'm not staying till last knock-ins. I can stay here till 8:30, but well, the gate closes at 8:30, but I'm going to be off well before then. I'll probably be heading home about 5ish. So I can't see much happening now. If it does, I'll get the camera back out and share with you anything that happens. But for now, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll be on the bank again soon. Until then, be lucky and take care.